So coming up next, we have Josh from InfoSystems. He is also going to be giving a talk related to DevOps.
All right, so I'm sure everybody in here is excited to hear about someone who is neither an engineer, a technologist, or a developer. I'm a marketing guy. So, and you know, all the technical people love the marketing folks, right? We're the ones that create all the promises and then ask you to deliver on those things. And you know, sales and marketing, that's what we do. So anyway, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to explain what every startup needs to know about data, the cloud, and SaaS tools. And I'm going to cover it all in 5 minutes, I promise. The bottom line here is every young company is going to make a whole lot of technology decisions in their first few years of business. And a lot of you guys, if you work for software companies or other types of IT companies, you're going to have a lot of say-so in those technologies that the young companies are choosing to implement. And that's kind of a powerful position that holds a lot of I guess just, you know, a lot of sway and a lot of responsibility, like the Spider-Man quote, you know, a lot of power requires a lot of responsibility, something like that. I'm not a comic book guy. But think about all of the technology companies out there that a young company is hearing from on a regular basis in a sales manner from people like me or other types of salespeople, basically asking them to adopt their technology. Or think of technology companies that are reaching out to, you know, development firms or IT companies and asking them to fix problems. How much collaboration is going on between software developers, platform people, infrastructure people, all of the things that are going to touch the ultimate delivery and usage of the application that gets delivered? Well, the problem is the thing that the software should be doing, which is generating useful data, fixing processes internally at a company, and helping to generate useful data that the company can use to store and make decisions moving forward. I'm not sure as an industry we're always the greatest stewards. So this is not really a technical talk. This is more of kind of like an ethics talk in just a few minutes. So first of all, if you're a company, what potential does your data have in the first place? I would argue there is, as far as the success or failure of your company, there is pretty much unlimited potential behind the data that your company is going to generate. If you're selling products, you're going to have transactional information about the customer, how they're buying your product, what they're buying, when they're buying it. You're going to have data about your employees, how your employees work together, the tools they use to get the job done, all of the workflows that need to happen to pass information between departments. All of these things end up generating useful data that your company can use to make decisions on how to create efficiencies, how to create better products and services, how to hire and train employees. All of these things hinge upon your data, and so ultimately all of these things hinge upon the systems that generate, store, and share your data. And so, you know, my thought is mature companies will be able to mine years or decades of data to quickly highlight trends and make forecasts. All of this, of course, hinges on the fundamental technologies that capture, store, and share the data. So as software developers, as infrastructure specialists, are we really being great stewards of the customer's data that they're going to be generating and using? And the reason I bring that up is because it seems to me that the culture of the entrepreneurship and startup culture that is really pervasive today is all about the newest flashy thing, the cool new tool to use. You know, a new application comes out, it hits the market, and everybody's just, you know, oh, I got to have that. It does this. Well, the more and more applications, we all know this, the more and more software applications that businesses introduce into their IT system can potentially create more and more fragmentation of their data. And so will the customer end up actually being able to access and use any of it effectively? I mean, if you've got accounting using one system and you've got operations using their systems and marketing using their system and sales using their system, and you've got an e-commerce system for the web and your website and all of these things existing together, are we as an IT industry, as software developers, as infrastructure specialists, as just consultants and stewards, are we really delivering those things in the best way possible? So our company, I'm going to skip past that one. Our company is known for infrastructure. And one of the things we've noticed is that it's sort of hard to engage with software companies because they have the tendency to just want to use the easiest thing. They want infrastructure to be an afterthought. I want to click a few buttons, spin up a AWS instance, do my thing, and pass it off and move on to the next project. So when we engage with software companies, we're really trying to, share our story of how can we help develop applications and deliver them to customers in a way that the end result will be supported in real-world business environments where they're going to have on-premise and cloud IT infrastructure that all needs to work together. And so my pitch to you all is really help companies, help startups, help young companies address these things. The way they end up in bad places is they're either making decisions that were not prioritized well, or were emotional decisions, or were misinformed and they weren't prepared. So we're over here at the InfoSystems table, and for anyone here, we'd love to engage and talk about solutions that will ultimately benefit the end customer. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Josh.